Good Tuesday afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our market intel brief here at TGO, TOPGUN Options. I'm Wiz, Matthew Buckley, and we have nearly 500 people registered for our brief on Thursday. Options on futures, our newest trading service here in a partnership with Altos Trading. And then you can auto trade or execute your trades through CTG Capital Trading Group. So make sure you head to go.topgunoptions.com/futures, where you can check out our brief on Thursday and our newest service. You're going to see how CTG Capital Trading Group with Nell Sloan, how they are supporting the No Fallen Heroes Foundation through this strategic partnership. A little bit of a heartbreaker, but out of heartbreak can come some pretty cool things like saving other folks' lives. So not going to steal Nell's thunder, so please join us on Thursday at 1 p.m. for that brief. Again, go.topgunoptions.com/futures. Check out Barclays Hedge Fund Index. Year to date, how hedge funds are doing. Year to date, folks, 4.36%. That performance through June of 2023 comes from about 2,600 hedge funds. Through May, it was 3,255. Look at that. Why am I bringing that up? Because I was just taking a look at my personal account today. My brokerage account, 3867, is up 35% year to date. Okay, there's my individual brokerage account up 35%. The Dow is up 4.3. The S&P, very respectable, 17.8%. The NASDAQ is insane, 3610. You know, the monster tech rally that has been propelling us higher. So, folks, I am underperforming the NASDAQ by 0.8%. That's pretty damn good, folks, and blowing away just about every hedge fund out there, folks. Most hedge funds, if they were up 35.3% through July, they'd close their doors and go to the Hamptons for the rest of the year, or the islands or something like that. So pretty damn good. Every once in a while, I obviously want to show how I'm doing in my personal trading accounts, just not the model portfolios. Modern portfolios are doing great. What's this? The primary brief up 130 grand year to date, 109,000 just trading the S&P 500. We took a bearish sniper trade on Morgan Stanley today. Look at this pop. Rip your face off rally, and it kind of hovered. I think we fill this gap on Morgan Stanley by Friday, maybe pulling back to about 89-ish. The earnings weren't necessarily that good, to be honest with you. We can dig into that in a second. But in breaking news, or not, U.S. and NATO grapple with critical ammo shortage for Ukraine. I'm going to let that sink in, folks. You saw the news last week. What used to be a war crime, according to the United States, the use of cluster munitions. I have employed cluster munitions. I've dropped them before, not in anger, in training. Pretty bad weapon, right? So used to be a war crime, not a war crime anymore when we do it, right? When we do things, it's not a war crime. When other people do it, definitely war crime. Yeah, that should work out well for us. The New York Times over the weekend had a pretty brutal assessment of what's going on. After suffering heavy losses, Ukrainians paused to rethink strategy. Earlier in the counteroffensive, Ukraine lost as much as 20% of its weapons and armor. What's missing out of those words right there? Something I care about. Human beings. Ladies and gentlemen, again, if you say the P word, peace, you are called a Putin plant, a Russian sympathizer, a traitor, whatever. Unbelievable that's where we are. The same liberals and Democrats, the peaceniks, the beatniks, the anti-establishment, say no to the man, don't trust the government, don't trust anybody over 30, 40, whatever it was. What happened to these people? 2 years ago, they were saying, throw your mask on and inject this juice into your arm that hasn't been tested. And listen to the government. Wow. Now they're like frothing at the mouth about war. What the hell happened in this country? It's like bizarro world. It's upside down world. Anyway, that's what's going on around the world. By the way, the quote-unquote democracy we're protecting in Ukraine, young Ukrainians scared to leave their homes as more and more videos show forced conscription. Forced conscription, ladies and gentlemen, is kidnapping. There are videos of kids, younger than me as a kid, I'm 54, being kidnapped in Ukraine. Recruiting officers driving around the neighborhoods. It's like chitty chitty bang bang, man. These guys with their nets looking for children. Unbelievable, folks. Don't believe me? Google it. Watch the videos yourselves. Nice Nazi symbol on the side of that guy's truck. They are kidnapping people. Kind of like Sound of Freedom in the movie theaters, right? Child abductions. Well, in Ukraine, Wiz, if we don't kidnap them, maybe they'll flee. Huh. Zelensky also suspended elections in Ukraine. There's some democracy for you right there. No more elections until the war's over. Oh, wow. Pentagon announced, or Joe Biden announced, another $1.3 billion to Ukraine today. Again, No Fallen Heroes Foundation struggling to get donations to take veterans who defended this country to heal. But again, you can listen to people who say, Wiz, we can chew gum and walk at the same time. We can support Ukraine and help our veterans. No, we can't, because you're not. Okay? Politics, War, and Healing, the Max Afterburner, episode 66. Podcast just dropped. I'll click the link to the podcast and also the video in case you want to see me ranting. I don't even want to see me ranting. So that dropped today. I'll also put the link to this Trade to Black podcast I did the other day, why mental health industry will be as big as the internet. Bigger than the internet, folks. So I talk about the 3 psychedelic names. Well, the 2 names I would buy with both hands. Do you see the psychedelic names, folks? Did you see MindMed today? MindMed today was up. Not Disney. I hope Disney goes out of business. MindMed. 14% pop today. 14% pop out of MindMed. Atai. I told you to buy with both hands last week. Up another 3% today. What did Compass do? Compass. How'd that make out today? Up 6.5%. Are you listening, folks? Look at these charts. Rip your face off rally, filled the gap, and we're heading higher. Do not miss out on these names, folks. Look at this rally since Denver. I said buy a tie with both hands. $1.50 to all the way up to $2.50-ish. Wow. Folks, I don't know what you're waiting for. You can wait, but I'm not. What was the other one? Oh, I showed them all. Anyway, I'll put the links to this podcast in here as well so you can check it out. Morgan Stanley, mixed earnings today, but their forward look was kind of bullish. So, looking backwards wasn't that good. But looking forward, they're saying good, right? Morgan Stanley, their profit dropped 13%. B of A rose 19%. So Morgan Stanley, kind of a big miss, and then the stock was up 6% today. That's why I sold into that pop with a bear call spread. But their investment banking it's dead. Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan, the old blue blood Wall Street banks and their seersucker suits, it's over with, folks, especially with rising interest rates. The cost of capital ain't cheap anymore, folks. We had free money for years and years and years from the Fed, near zero interest rates. Now with zero interest rates where they are, 5, whatever, effectively 6-ish, maybe mid-5s. There's a lot of sand getting thrown into the gears of this economy. But, Wiz, trade the market you have, not the one you want. Not that I want a down market, but I've seen these MacGyver rallies. Right? You ever watch the show MacGyver? I need a toothpick, a straw, and a paperclip, and I'm going to build a fighter jet. This is hanging up here. This is supported by MacGyver. A paperclip and bubble gum and a saran wrap is keeping this market up here. Trade the market you have, not the one you want. Be ready to exit at the first sign of, there's smoke right now. As soon as I see a spark, man, this thing's going to get pounded into the dirt. When the ConAgra CEO warns Americans are cutting back on food purchases, something's up. right? Something is up, and it's not necessarily good. The Macy's CEO last month said people ain't buying clothes. The Costco CEO said people aren't buying steaks. They're buying chicken and pork instead. The underlyingness of this is not good. Inflation is still raging. I don't care about the headlines that it's coming in. Of course, other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the play? So instead of inflation being 9.1%, it's only 4 or whatever it is. Yay. People are burning to death from inflation, folks. It's been going on for a couple years since Joe Biden took office. You literally can look at the chart of inflation from his day of inauguration to the peak, 6 months ago or whenever it was, at 9.1%. But they sat there and lied to us. It's transitory, whiz. It's not. Oh, it's the supply chain issues. Mayor Pete on baby leave at home said so. Okay. No, it's not. It's Putin. It's the Putin inflation. It's been raging for a year and a half before Putin invaded Ukraine. Well, it's not our fault. Okay? Now that inflation's coming down, this administration, my administration, and Joe Biden, and everything's great because Democrats are fighting inflation. It's awful. I can't stand the hypocrisy, but this ain't my first rodeo, folks. But anyway, good stuff. Like I said, model portfolios are doing good. Primary, solo Amazon, accelerated retirement, weekly options, and then the whiz fighter in the background managing his own money, 35.3% year to date, which is crushing the other two indices. And then it's double. I'm outperforming the S&P 500 by double. It's just the NASDAQ. But folks, the NASDAQ, the 7 tech names that have been driving this rally, guess what? My personal portfolio, folks, is Amazon and Psychedelics. Amazon and Psychedelics are returning 35.3%. Make sure you register. Go.topgunoptions.com/futures, and you can learn how to trade futures and with options. The great different rules and a little bit more of an advantage, right? More leverage, whiz, a little bit more risk, duh. More leverage, more risk, less leverage, less risk, duh. But really going to find out, this really makes my heart smile that Nell Sloan is doing what she's doing in this kind of strategic partnership. And again, not going to steal her thunder. Please register for the brief. I think this room tops out at 500. I got to go look. But register now or you ain't going to get in. Everything's going to be recorded, but you have got to register in order to get the replay. One more time, go.topgunoptions.com/futures. Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge. Fights on. Namaste and basi basi.